Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. If you folks been watching me for a while, maybe 4 years ago and 3 years ago, because I've made numerous videos on this topic, I said what needs to change in our Congress is Congress. What needs to change in our Senate is the Senate. And one of the biggest bottlenecks that this country has had and still does have is by not imposing term limits on senators and congressmen. I had suggested 2 terms for a senator, since they're 6-year terms, and 3 terms for a congressman. It appears that Ted Cruz has just introduced an amendment to the Constitution that's specific to those 2 items. What also needs to be added, I think, is you can't go from one to the other, because that would allow them to circumvent the system. For example, take a look at Jeffrey the Flake Flake from Snowflake, Arizona, who's a total flake. He spent 10 years as a congressman, and then he switched over to the Senate. So if this isn't included in this constitutional amendment that Ted Cruz is pushing, then we end up in somewhat of a similar mess. So they have a choice. You want to run for the Senate, that's great. You want to run for Congress, that's great. You can't go from one to the other. Don't know if that's part of what Ted's introduced. I hope it is. If it isn't, maybe it needs to be. Maybe you need to get a hold of your congressional representative and let them know, or let Ted know, that you can't go from one to the other. Now, since the Senate's controlled by the Republicans, I can't imagine that this bill is not going to pass. Won't make a lot of people happy, but ask me if I care. Our country cannot survive under its present path. Having term limits and drug testing those that are there will go a long way to guarantee the future that America will continue to survive and thrive. That's sort of what I think. I'll attach the link. You can listen to it. I'm not a big fan of Ted Cruz, and I haven't been a big fan of Ted Cruz, but I definitely support what he's trying to bring about now. Let's hope that the rhinos can't block it. They're not going to be happy in supporting this. Would you be? Huh? Knowing that by you supporting it, you're ending your career? Let me know what you think. After watching this attached link, you'll know what Ted Cruz thinks. If you've been a viewer of mine, you know what I've thought from way back when. Thanks for listening.